And it haunts me to this day. I still think about that. Hey, this is Brandi Carlile, and I am speaking with the London Standard. The record in 3 words is reflective, honest, and guileless. My new album is called Returning to Myself because I think I've spent a pretty significant amount of time kind of away from myself. And I just sort of woke up one day and knew that I needed to take a close look at why I was doing that. What I found is that returning to myself wasn't really necessary, but that maybe taking a risk and doing something significant with my art that wasn't attached to other people or to another artist was necessary. My best day in the studio was toward the end of the project when Justin Vernon came by. And I played every song. Aaron Dessner and Andrew Watt were there, and Justin came as a guest wearing an Emmylou Harris t-shirt. And I had been just obsessing over Wrecking Ball throughout the course of the whole process, so I thought that was a sign. And then this thing can happen toward the end of when you're making an album where you can feel like you're done, and you can feel like there are certain things that you're accepting or that are passing a sort of emotional test for you as an artist, but then as soon as somebody sits down that's like new and you respect them and then you play that album back, it's not how they react, but it's the way you feel while you're playing certain moments and certain songs, and you feel your face get hot. And you know that that needs to be revisited. And Justin stayed all night. I remember we got some beers and some tequila, and we worked till 3 o'clock in the morning, and Justin played on like almost everything. And when he left, I felt that the album was done. So many artists have changed my life for so many different reasons. So many different parts of my life have been changed by certain artists, but I would have to say fundamentally, it would be Elton John. Elton John and Bernie Taupin are the reason why I make songs and music and play an instrument. Rocking and rolling. I love Jack Black. I love Tenacious D, and I have seen and heard everything they've ever done, and there was this sort of obscure Jack Black Tenacious D film called The Pick of Destiny, and I thought it was so funny. I memorized like every word of this film. The deal is they got to practice these rock moves to win the Battle of the Bands. One's called the rock slide, where they would like slide across the ground, and the other one was called the cock push-up. They're supposed to lay on their front and push themselves up with nothing but, I forgot that I wasn't an 18-year-old boy and that my whole audience hadn't seen The Pick of Destiny. I went to kind of jump off the drum riser, which in and of itself should be embarrassing, but whatever, I'm in my 20s. And I kind of buckled, my knees went. And I thought it was funny, so I got on the microphone and I said to all of these people who had never seen The Pick of Destiny, unbeknownst to me, I said, well, now that you've seen my rock slide, you should see my cock push-ups. Silence. To absolute silence, and it haunts me to this day. I still think about that. Anyway, I told Jack Black about that recently when we did SNL together, and he was so embarrassed for me, and the next day he brought me the tie-dye shirt that he wore in The Pick of Destiny. Something no one knows about Brandi Carlile. I have a whole other life that is very involved, almost as dedicated and sort of singular and tunnel visioned as my music, which is that I'm an avid fisherwoman. I love every kind of fishing, but I am a boat captain, and I have about a 40-foot aluminum fishing boat called the Captain Fantastic, after Elton. And so I spend a lot of time in the Straits of Fuca and off of the Salish Sea, fishing for halibut, lingcod, rockfish, and salmon. The most miraculous, biggest fish I ever caught, which was a king salmon on the Kenai Peninsula in Alaska that was 43 pounds out of the Kenai River.